Howdy, my name is F. Rodriguez Pug on Twitter. Nice to meet you. And like most of you, I frequently question my purpose in life. But unlike most of you, I figured it out. I know without a doubt what I'm all about. I, F. Rodriguez, am not an Olympic bronze medalist. I am not a thought leader. I unfortunately am not the end boss of the internet, although I'd love to be. I am a marketer who is not content with making marketing things. I want to make mischief. Okay, so making mischief, I guess you could call it trolling. I don't. I think of it as a way of reminding my friends that they have excellent taste in acquaintances, because I tell fantastic jokes, very amusing, often at other people's expense. That's what I live for. Now let's look at the words, make mischief. The key word here is make. At this point, it's almost like a buzzword. The maker mentality, you've got developers, you've got entrepreneurs, everyone is making things because it's what we do. I want part of that. However, the most unfortunate thing about this whole thing is I'm not a developer, I'm not an entrepreneur, I'm not starting a company anytime soon, but I want to contribute to this maker renaissance. So what could I do to tap into it that also involves mischief? That was the quandary. How can I make things and yet be mischievous? That was what I wanted out of life. That's what would define me. And the answer to that question is, oh, my timing is so off. It's Photoshop. Okay, so here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to start photoshopping images of friends of mine for the sake of lols, right? Just something to pass the time, to teach me a new skill, because I don't know how to use Photoshop. That's the thing I want to stress. I am not a designer. So I started with, like so many other things do, with Andrew Hyde. So Andrew is, he's my BFF. He was the best man at my wedding, one of my closest friends on earth, and I figured if I was going to have a go at this Photoshop thing and make things and be mischievous, I would start with him. So here's a fantastic photo of Andrew that an amazing photographer named Adria Ellis took. I don't know if she's here. I'm sorry for sabotaging your work. So an amazing photo. And I ran it through Photoshop and produced the following. Okay, so not very complex, not very hard to make. I mean, there's meme generators on the internet that you can do this or make this with very easily. So I wanted to up my skills. I wanted to, how to put it in a better way? I wanted to master mischief. I wanted to take Photoshop, push it further. I wanted to use the different tools, Google different types of layering, etc. I wanted to be better at what this whole mission. Okay, so then I did that, and I started cranking out some serious Photoshop action. So there's sad Andrew on the far left. It took a while to get the lighting right. I'm not convinced that it's right, but it's there. I put Andrew in one of my favorite scary movies. That's him replacing Jack Torrance. I pitted myself against Andrew in a street fight to the death because that's what I do and I love gaming. So that's what I started to do. Then I put him in kids' clothes because Andrew is tough enough. I made him an evil wizard because who doesn't want to be an evil wizard? Andrew does, 100%. I put him on a cat. He's riding into battle. You can barely see his head. I know these monitors aren't nearly as big as I wanted them to be, but that's what I was doing. So making stuff. Inevitably, I put these things on the internet because that's what you do. So I'm tweeting images, I'm Facebooking images, Pinterest, wherever, dropping some serious Andrew art. Because I wanted to make everyone aware that I was making things. This was Andrew's response. So he's clearly a little perturbed, clearly a little annoyed. If I were a better friend, I would probably stop. But I'm an awesome friend, and so I took this as license to slip into wartime production. So I went crazy, everything I had, into it, go. Okay, so I made Mr. Bubble. It looks like a band from the 70s, like a record cover. It's really kind of suggestive and weird, but I love it for that reason. Andrew shares a birthday with Shaquille O'Neal, so why wouldn't he be carrying through the streets of New York? So, then it went crazy. So I put flowers in his beard. That's not a real photo. That's like me photoshopping Andrew's beard into flowers craziness. That's me driving a bike, riding a bike with Andrew in the basket. That's Andrew and a goat, because goats are in now, I guess. So making mischief. That's what I'm doing. Just constantly finding reasons and ways to put one of my closest friends in the world into harm's way via art, because I wanted to make things and I wanted to be mischievous doing it. To his credit, Andrew has been a fantastic sport about this. I have made umpteenth number of Photoshops, both really good and really terrible, or I think they're really good, and he hasn't defriended me yet. Because the moral of this story is you cannot make mischief without F. Welcome to Ignite South by Southwest.